Hi everyone, welcome back to Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics. We're back on the 2012 Mercedes GL, I think it's a 450. I wish I was working on this thing, but this thing is a no crank again. Owner says his wife drove it here, parked it, and it never cranked. First thing, obviously, we'll start with a health report on the THINKTOOL Pros, and we have some communication faults. Direct select, electronic ignition, transmission, engine control unit. ECM says no CAN message was received from the direct select, no CAN message from transmission, no CAN message from steering column, no CAN message from traction control, no CAN message from air conditioning, the EZS, central gateway, or instrument cluster. Okay. Steering column, CAN communication. So we're dealing with communication fault on the high-speed network. Now you might ask, how is the engine computer, how are all these modules talking with the scanner and they can't talk to each other? This is very similar to the beached whale Mercedes AMG, the 2010 that we diagnosed a little while back, and that turned out to be a bad engine computer. We scoped the networks, everything was fine, the CAN signals looked great, but the engine computer just went nuts and was setting all these communication codes. So since the fault is present, let's just clear all the DTCs out. I have the report saved, and we'll try to crank it, see what comes back right away. We'll chase those codes. We got all data pulled up, look at some wiring diagrams for the information bus, and go from there. So place your bets now. This is going to be a bad engine computer. Perhaps that's kind of my gut feeling, but we'll see. Alright, so we're dealing with a problem on CAN C, and that's the one we were dealing with last time. If you remember, well, you'll have to go watch the video, but this bus was down because of, you'll have to go watch the video. So I want to get a scope on this. The CAN comb connector, passenger side voltage distribution, CAN C connector. Let's get to that. Put a scope on it. Let's just try to start once. Nothing there. Let me scan it one more time. Alright, we got two channels over there on the CAN distribution, high and low. Here's what we're seeing. So just seems like normal packets. They're not shorted to battery or shorted to ground. There is quite a bit of ringing when this module tries to communicate. Like right here, it's something weird. Now if we bring these down, it's going to match them up. They should be mirror images. Bias voltage is at 2.5. That's good. So like right there is a good packet, but what about these right here? A lot of ringing. Let's just play it again. And the code scan didn't show anything weird. Let's see, turn it off. We'll just keep playing the scope, see if it times out. Yep, it sure did. Yep, turned off just fine. Why is it not cranking? Let's go to ECM. Read fault code. No DTCs. Driver authorization. Let's see. Is it disabling itself? Yes, yes, yes. Everything's good. Transport protection detached. Let's see what the electronic ignition lock is saying, the EZL. Oh. Or is it the EIS? Electronic ignition switch. Let's read some data in there. No DTCs. Access authorization. Everything looks good. Terminal 15 and terminal 50. Everything's on. Start and stop button keyless go pressed. See terminal 15 X can on. That's off and that's off. Now terminal 50 I think is the starter. Let's see, off, on, and then crank. So you see terminal 50 is on. Then I release it. If I try to crank it again, it won't let me. So far, I don't know what all those codes are all about. Cleared everything out. It still doesn't crank, but it's not setting any communication codes, and the CAN signals look just fine on the scope. Let's take a look at the wiring diagram of the starting circuit of this output terminal 50. Crazy Mercedes. Alright, so here is the diagram of the starting circuit. Here's the starter. And it's fed by, see there's terminal 50. Starter relay, engine compartment fuse box, and let's see here, hot at all times, circuit 15 relay feeds the starter relay, hot with engine circuit 87 energized. That's the control, and the control is grounded by the engine control, engine computer. So let's find this relay, do some basic checks there. Alright, so here's our relay box. And the assignment here, letter I is starter relay. That's right in the corner by the stud. This one right here. Let's pull it out. 5-pin. And get a test light. Check some voltages. Alright, so back to the diagram. 30 and 87 are always the load side. So test light across 30 and 87 with the key on, we have a nice bright light. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, that's good. So, see, that goes to the starter. I'm just checking continuity through the starter on the load side. And the other pin, just make sure test light works. So this must be pin, that's the feed. That's pin 30. So if we jump these two together with the key on, will the car start? let's try that, and then we'll go after the control side if there's a problem. So fuse jumper. Ready? Keys on. Nothing. Let's check the amperage on there. I didn't hear anything click. $10 amps. Starter is not clicking. Okay, so at this point it looks like a bad starter, but let's check the control side. That'll be pins 85 and 86. When we crank the car, that should light up a test light across these two pins right here to switch on that relay. So this is basic relay testing, load and control side. So let me put this right here where we can see it through the windshield. And whenever terminal 50 says on, the test light should light up. Let's see. Yes, test light lights on, terminal 50 on. Now if we try to crank it again, you see it went off, and crank it, it will not let you do it the second time. It looks like the starter on this thing's junk. If I can locate it, and we can manually just jump those two pins together, hit it with a hammer, see if this thing fires up and runs, it's gonna be a bad starter. Why do we have all those communication codes? That blows my mind. Alright, so I found the starter. It is visible through this hole right here. There it is. So I'm going to get a pry bar and smack that solenoid and see if we can get this thing to start up. Alright, so we're manually going to energize the starter. I got extension leads so I can lie here. Hopefully this thing doesn't run me over. And let me get a good angle of this starter motor. I'm just gonna bang it a couple times before trying my manual test. Let's see. Aha! So it clicked. No more click. We have to make sure the engine's not seized up. Yes, it does have oil in it. Let's try that again. Okay, here we go again. We can always monitor the current going to the solenoid. There you go, 10 amps. Let me just let it run through there. Yeah, I think we're dead in the water on the starter. But fairly straightforward diagnosis. It clicked once. No sense in beating a dead Mercedes to death here. You heard it click. No spinny. Alright. That's the end of the diagnosis. I'm sure the owner will install his own starter for his wife. Make her happy. Not a fun network problem this time, but I'm sure it'll be back for something else. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.